Triggering change, one heartbeat at a time. Battle for freedom. Hello everyone, I'm your host Watson Prunier from Battle for Freedom on Mojo 5 Radio, and I appreciate every last one of you as we get into another broadcast of Battle for Freedom on Mojo 5 Radio, my website battleforfreedom.com. I also want you to go to mojo50.com. If you're listening in the afternoon, you're probably listening to American Uck Radio with Mike Phillip. If you listen after, you have Brad Staggs and Daily Mojo. All this you can figure out if you go to mojo50.com and basically click the schedule button. This is the way you get a chance to learn about the different programs that are available to you on this amazing network that is about free speech and all speech and nothing but the speech, except a couple of things. But apart from that, you kind of get the drift of if you understand what's all about Mojo 50 Radio. Again, Battle for Freedom, one of the shows that are available to you on this network. My name is Watson Prunier, and one of the things that I want to do for you as we get over into this thing here, as we get into Battle for Freedom and all things Mojo 50 Radio, I want to do this for you. Today, I'm going to spend some time talking about the best of times, restoring our creativity. The reason why I do this is because, I spend a lot of time going over things like the news and the craziness of what's taking place in the news. Today, I want to actually spend a little different time with you today going over things important, kind of like being creative, finding your inner creative individual, because in so doing, this is how we can change the world. One triggering change, one heartbeat at a time. If you want to interact, you can go to facebook.com/Mojo50 Radio. Tomorrow it could be facebook.com/Battle for Freedom. I want to keep you guessing as we continue to go through this thing here and try and be on the creative side. But, it's like the besting the worst of times, restoring your creativity. No, I don't want to talk about any politics today. Trust me. You'll get politics with me like a million other times. But one of the things that I realize in the process of us, all the craziness, all the anger, all the frustrations of what we see with society is the fact that, we spend too little time creating and we spend too much time berating. We spend too little time creating. We spend too little time creating and too much time berating other individuals, tearing other people down. And you sit there and you say, well, what's your contribution? What's your contribution to society, to the world, that makes things easier for people to want to live better? One of our sponsors is American Pride Roasters Coffee. It's historically great coffee and the official coffee of Mojo 50 Radio. And we appreciate them. They're going through some challenges right now because of a tornado a couple weeks ago. But you know what? The business is still running. The business still exists. And we want you to support them. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. They have amazing blends. Shipping might be a little bit behind, but understand this. You're getting quality coffee when you get American Pride Roasters coffee. They've been with Mojo 50 Radio. They have consistently been with Mojo 50 Radio for more than 3 years now. We really appreciate everything that they've done and everything that they will be doing. I see Linda, I see Curtis, I see Kathy. Thank you for joining and being part of the program. American Pride Roasters Coffee. One other one I want to share with you is New Life Holistic. Check this out. I don't know what you've been going through, but I'm certain that you're tired of the useless systems you've been wasting on money for therapy. Contact New Life Holistics by going to newlifeholistics.com right now. Give them the code Mojo50 and save $50 on your first session. Biofeedback may be the one solution that can help you. Try New Life Holistics today. Try New Life Holistic today and let them know that Watson from Battle for Freedom sent you. The reason why we do this is because, again, I just want to recognize, sometimes we struggle in our creativity because of the fact that we may be dealing with a lot of pain. We've been, whether it's the pain, whether it's distractions, I don't know what it would be. There is, oh yes, they are doing a coffee auction. Yes, if you go to New Life Holistic, not New Life, go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. There's a coffee auction that's going on, and I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a great thing that you can get behind and you can support. Please do this, and I think that, in the midst of their tragedy, in the midst of everything going on, what a beautiful thing that, they could rise out of the ashes of what would seem like defeat and devastation, and still come up with ways to bless people and have a brighter picture and disposition in life. In the midst of devastation, in the midst of losing so much, they're still alive. Praise God. And they have much to give to us. It's just great. Jamie, one of the hosts of Ain't You a Peach. Thank you for joining and being part of the program. You can catch her on the weekend when I talk about weekend shows and creativity. You'll see a lot of creativity on Mojo 50 Radio. A lot of different opinions, a lot of different topics, and you name it. And but I tell you, it's great about the differences that you will appreciate on this network. So as you sit here and you watch this, I've been struggling. I've had a couple work projects. I have quite a few work projects that I've been working on. And I hit like this roadblock some time ago where I'm trying to come up with some really great ideas on helping the teams, helping, my coworkers and people around my company get some things done. And I have one of these tools that builds things for you. And it's great. The tool is great. It was a little bit archaic for some time, but they made some changes. And one of the things that I saw in this was I had this roadblock. I couldn't create. And all of a sudden, the strangest thing happened over this past weekend, or might even be going into the weekend last week, where, bam, God hits me with an idea. He's like, I think you should try this. You've been doing before was great, but I want you to try this. This just may work things better. You may, because in this, so we had this like process of getting things done and building things for our job. And the process that my team was doing for so long, it was exhaustive. It was a lot of work. And a few years back, I tried to, they came up with this new way of doing things where we could still work the system that we had, but simplified in a way. And I came up with this. It was an 8-month project to come up with this way of making things simpler. But even as I made things simpler, people were still struggling to get through the tool. And I couldn't understand. I pretty much made it self-explanatory. And still people were struggling. And over this past weekend, going into the last weekend, the Lord was like, hey, I want you to consider this. And I tell you, I take zero credit. In what I believe might be an ingenious situation of us getting our jobs done, especially with this tool that we use. But I was so happy about it because it took me to a particular passage. And it is, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. Every good gift, every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. And I love this passage because of the fact that, even as hey, hi Grace, thank you for being part of the program. Even as I, wrote my books, the Stone's Heart series, and Fractured Faith, and so many of these different book programs and books that I've been working on, and I try and find creativity. There's just a lot that I know that there's a deep well of creativity, but it's not within my soul. It's from heaven. I think a lot of people are trying to find their inner creativity. They're trying to find so much, and even some of the things that they're trying to tap into, it's for power, not for creativity. Power to control, power to manipulate, power to manipulate their circumstances, to manipulate life. And I believe that God has a wealth of creativity and knowledge that if we just submit ourselves to him, I believe that we can make some serious changes in our lives. But the problem is that we're so fixated on power, and again, I don't want to waste time talking about politics today. The idea, oh, that's so sweet, Grace. It's very kind of you. This idea that God can create, and he does create. Sometimes there's so many works of art that we appreciate. I got to go to Proverbs 1. I don't have the whole verse. No, let me just put the whole thing on here, because of the fact that I think that when we're trying to find that spark of knowledge, when we're trying to find that spark of creativity, it begins with us humbling ourselves before God. And in so doing, he brings about this amazing change in our lives that I think that none of us can underestimate. We're going to be Proverbs 1. I believe this is 1 through 7. This will help you in reference to finding your creativity. And again, I really pray that in this, because again, like I said, there's so much negativity that we could focus on. I have no desire to do that. Not today. Give me tomorrow, maybe, and we'll go from there. But my goal is, hopefully, because I feel so inspired, I want you to feel inspired in terms of what God is doing. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. I'm not going to lie to you that in everything that I was trying to do for my work, and everything I've been trying to do for a lot of different things, I have tried to get so much done in the last few years. And I know I've done it in certain areas. Like I love doing Wednesday in the Word here on Battle for Freedom. And hey, Jamie says, I avoid politics lately unless they are a conspiracy. That's cute. I love that. I'm sure you keep Lep going when you guys talk about that. Lep, he's the other half of the Ain't You Pete show that you'll appreciate on the weekends. But, I realized that not an area of my life that I was trying to basically get things accomplished, that I was actually asking God for help. And I was sitting here thinking, I was like, why is this so difficult? Why is this so challenging that I'm not making these changes in my life? Why am I hitting these roadblocks? And I'm not lying to you. So I'm hoping, I was trying to do a presentation several months ago for these guys. And my goal is by this Thursday, I want to make a big presentation for the team so that they can finally get this tool working the way that they need to. Making some last minute tweaks, and I want to make sure everything works perfectly fine. So this Thursday, so pray for me that if anything, if I solicit your prayers, is that I get the clarity of mind to continue to hear God and make the proper adjustments to this tool so that my team and other teams can succeed on what they need to do. Dragging him down the rabbit hole with you. That's too funny. So I was looking at a bunch of tools. What are the tools that I have at home that allow me to create? And so I made a list of some of the programs that I use. And I'm hoping that some of this stuff, I'm going to start off with the free stuff, and I'm going to work my way towards some of the paid things. Now, I know my job provides for me an Adobe subscription, so I get the Creative Suite, or whatever it is, Creative Online or whatever it's called. It's a ridiculously expensive package. So Photoshop, all that stuff, they're great tools, but not every American can afford to spend $600 to $1,200 a year on some of the Adobe Suite programs that you can't afford subscriptions. I'm going to share with you that sometimes that creativity can be found even in the simplest and freest of tools to make things a lot easier for you. So one of the ones that, I have, it's a little bit of a learning curve if you've used Photoshop, but if you have never used Photoshop or any of those highfalutin packages, and I'm going to call them highfalutin because you have to pay a ridiculous amount of money to use them, you might struggle a little bit with Gimp in the beginning. And oh yeah, I forgot to put all of them in timeline. I'm going to put these all in the chat window for you so that you can see all the different programs. If you're on facebook.com/Mojo5er Radio, you can go to the broadcast for today and you'll be able to see all the programs that I'm going to go through. Let's focus on Gimp. Then we're going to talk about Krita. We're going to talk about Davinci Resolve. Again, these are a lot of different programs that I hope that can help you on the idea and concept of succeeding. And I'm putting a lot of these in the timeline from Krita, Blackmagic Design, where Davinci Resolve, you have Presonus Studio One, you have Musescore. That's because I'm working in a style of going from art to music to video production. Just to help you succeed in Presonus. I've got, I didn't put the Presonus Studio One on there. Yeah, that's what it was, because that went out of order. That's why I did that. Okay, Blender. I'm giving you a lot of these different programs in the timeline, and again, this is hopefully that you could find your inner creativity and go from there. And what I'll do is I'll even try and let you see a screenshot on my computer of what the stuff looks like so that you yourself can have fun creating with these tools. And again, I know there's a lot that I'm putting in the timeline, but enjoy. I want you to have the information. I want you to be able to create. Sometimes I believe that when you're inspired to create, you make things happen for people that just move them. See, sometimes we create to bless people, but sometimes when we create to motivate people to create themselves. And in so doing, when we do this is when you see a better reaction or a revelation of what humanity can do when we move in the process of creation for the purpose of glorifying God in everything that we say and we do. So let's go to Gimp first. Yes, you figure I would actually have the screen up and that you guys can see this. So I'm going to add my Gimp screen so that you can kind of see this and enjoy what is going to be on this tool. That's the wrong one. I don't want this one. Whoops. Change. I want desktop 3. Right? I want desktop 3. If I'm correct. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So on here, you can see a lot of icons down there if you're not paying attention. This is one of the programs, Gimp, and it's a lot like, and again, if you're on a 4K monitor, this can actually be painful for you to watch and work on this thing here. So let's do this, zoom in. I can't even zoom in because of the fact that this tool is too tiny for you to see. Well, the interface is going to be a lot like Photoshop, where you can do a lot of changes and development. Again, if you go to gimp.org, let's open up that page and see. I'll let you see what the page looks like. So that if you go to their web page, this is what it looks like when you're going to make any changes. A free tool for art development, graphics, that makes things available and more creative for you. You know, and again, could you make it work with a not a stylus, but like a tablet, a graphics tablet? Yeah, it would be great to do that, but it still works with the mouse. Sometimes, again, we don't have to get expensive in finding our creativity. Sometimes it's just in the free stuff, and if you spend that time just doing some of the research, but don't spend any time in dying in research, but get to working with the tools and you can get things done. Again, if you don't have the money for the Photoshop stuff, I'd say save your money. I say save your money. There are a lot of videos that you could watch online that'll tell you exactly what you need to know about many of these tools that are available to you. There's a lot of things that you can go through that can help you understand these tools that you work with, that you don't have to spend a whole lot of money and go from there. Let's see, where's another one? Gimp is a free one. Krita, I just learned about the other day, and I had no idea what Krita was because of the fact I was like, Krita? But it came for some strange reason, maybe because of the fact that some of the other tools that I was searching, and, you know, with the AIs that spend a lot of time studying and showing what you do, Krita was another tool which is very similar to the Gimp. And what I like about this is you can turn around and you can get a lot of stuff done here. Let me open up the screen for Krita so you can see this one here. Again, this is what the website will look like when you go there. You can basically get in and see a lot of what some of the designs of what people do. You know, if you want, you know, all the features you need as you sit here and you watch this, look at this, no trials, no subscriptions, no limit to your creativity. This is pretty cool when you look at some of the different things that you would want to go through and creating and trying to find that inner creativity in you. And it may seem a little, you know, off-putting in the beginning, but it's a free tool that you could download, that you can create, and you could find that inner artist that, you know, has maybe been hiding because you've been not just physically locked down, you've been mentally locked down for so long. So this is one of the other tools that are available to you, because when you start in 2D, it moves you towards 3D, but just hang in there. We'll be getting to that in a second as well. Another one that I use, and this is actually on a daily basis as I work through, you know, my footprint of what I do for radio, what I do for other areas of creativity, is Davinci Resolve. Now, this one is a phenomenal one. This tool, I love this tool because of the fact that I'm going to show you their website. It's by Black Magic Design. No, not Caucasianly Challenged Design, but Black Magic Design. And I love Davinci Resolve because, again, a lot of the tools I'm going to share with you, because they're free, they allow you to create and get things done. And what I love about this is, in the process of getting things done, it's for free. So there's two versions of this tool. There's a $0 version. There's a free version that you can download for as long as the company allows you to do this. And in the process of doing this, excuse me, hold on a second. That was a bad one. In the process of basically creating, there's just so much you can get done with this tool. And I love this because of the fact that not only does Davinci Resolve offer video creations for you, it also does a few things that many of the paid programs do. This is one of the ones I really like, and I enjoyed this because this is what their website looks like when you go there. You can download for free. There's the free version. There's a $300 version when you want to create. And they say, like, you know, when you're going to get into filming and you're like, well, I would love to make some of these blockbuster films, but you know what? I don't know how to do some of the things that people are doing. Listen, they just put like 17 chapters of free tutorials on their tool back in January from Davinci Resolve, from Black Magic. So when we get back from the break, what I'll do is I'll show you my desktop version of this tool, but we're going to focus on creation, folks. We're going to focus on creation. I'm your host, Watson Prier. I'll talk to you on the flip side. A reading from John 1, verses 1 through 18. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. He came as a witness to bear witness about the light, that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but he came to bear witness about the light. The true light, which gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, yet the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of only the Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness about him and cried out, "This is he of whom I said, he who comes after me ranks before me, because he was before me." For from his fullness we have all received grace upon grace. For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, the only God, who is at the Father's side. He has made him known. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Watson Prier from Battle for Freedom on Mojo Fiber Radio, and I appreciate every last one of you as we sit here and we continue to just talk about being creative. Again, I'm your host, Watson Prier from Battle for Freedom on Mojo Fiber Radio. As we sit here and we talk about the whole idea of, finding your inner creative, finding your inner creative that allows you to restoring your creativity, besting the worst of times. We've been in lockdown, folks. Learn to be safe, travel safely. This idea of finding your inner creative, because of the fact that in the process of doing this, I think that sometimes we can just have a different and better disposition in life. One of the things that I hope and seeing in the process of when I usually do the one version of making changes, I see other changes that inspires change and growth in other areas of my life as well. And it did. I mean, in the process of doing that thing for work, I was able to do some things from home, and I'm still just plowing away trying to get these things done. My name is Watson Prier. I'm part of Battle for Freedom. I'm part of the Mojo 50 Radio Network. Again, battleforfreedom.com, mojo50.com. Let's continue. So before the break, I was talking to you about Davinci Resolve, and I showed you what their website looked like. So let me show you what their application looks like. And this is the reason why I love this tool. Again, screen might look pretty small for you as you're looking at this. So let me try and see if I can break some of this down for you. So your very first page, it has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tabs, right? So when you're working on video or something like that, and you know what, let me do that. Let me bring in one of these files, and then I can show you an example of how this stuff, because maybe you don't know how to, maybe you're not cutting video for broadcasts and everything like that. Maybe you're working on a video for your family, for a wedding, for something like that. And, you need to figure out a way to dump the stuff in and build in, oh, I did the wrong thing. And, oh, that's fine. It just took in everything I did not want it to do, but that's fine. All I did was pick one thing, but it decided to go through the whole folder. That's cool. But either way, this is a lot of my broadcasts that I have, and if I want to bring down one of these, I can go in here and just go in and just say, hey, listen, This is my media pool, shows me a lot of the different things that I'm working with. And this is just your basic page when you first start off. So then if you go over here, and this page is the cut page. And this is where this is one of the ways that you can edit some of the video. Let's see if I go here and say media pool. Oh, I didn't bring it over. Okay, that's why. Oh, yeah, I was looking at the folder. Yeah, let's say just change. And I'm going to basically take this one down onto the timeline. For some strange reason, it wants to start at a minute, but I'm going to tell it to just start at 0. And so here is like my last, I believe this might have been my last broadcast. So then what I can do is I can go and I can do some editing on this page. I like working better in this page, which is the edit page. It gives you a few more features inside of this stuff. Like it has like a sound library, has an effects library of what you can do and working with, navigating through a lot of these things in this tool. Again, I love it. I feel more comfortable working with this when it's showing what I do with this than the other tools. But again, I love this because of the fact that you can cut things down like, okay, well, I don't need this much here, so I'm going to just cut this. I'm going to basically go in here. I'm going to take this and boom. Now it just cuts out whatever you don't want in here. You can make transitions. Let's see. Let's go in. Let's get to a point where I want to see, and I'm going to actually mute the audio on this thing so you don't hear it while we're doing this. But let's get further into this thing here, and maybe you can see a little bit of who I am. Zoom out, and here you go. So, you have something like this, right? Well, here's one area. I'm going to make a cut right here, and then let's just go grossly over here. I'll make a cut right here. I'm going to move this out. This is just built-in things that it has with this tool here. Right-click and say 6 frame dissolve. Yeah, that kind of looks freaky there. But if you watch this, it just built into the tool. Maybe move a little bit further ahead. It has these dissolve features that you can put in here so that when you transition from one scene into another, it has all these different things in here. So I went from like it's just simple transitions and everything like that. But if you stopped and you can basically hover over the transition, you could go over here and you can look at, do I want cross dissolve? Do I want cross wipe? I want a band wipe? So let's go and play that one more time and see what it looks like just using that tool there and switching over to the band wipe rather than just the cross dissolve. And it kind of shows you exactly what this is going to look like. It's just simple things like that. One of the other things I really like with this tool is then you can have this area right here. This is called I think this is the fusion area, where this is where you could put things like After Effects in there. So yeah, so basically with this tool, you have Adobe Premiere for video editing, you have Adobe After Effects, and then you have coloring of what you could do, changing the colors of whatever you want to do on your pictures. You can do all the stuff in here. Again, look at the videos; it'll give you a lot. And the one that I enjoy most is this area here, where it's the audio stuff, where I can turn around and add in. I can modify. So when I'm done with the show, I take some of the video and I'll just clip out the video and basically just cut the audio out, and then I can basically down in this last area push out my final quality of that. But again, it's I really enjoy the way that tool works. So much that you can get done, and that's just Davinci Resolve, and it's free. And again, what I really now Curtis is really dating himself by saying Roxio Easy Creator CD Creator it's a nice cheap program, but you've taken me back gazillion years. That's one of the programs I used when I first got into computers, was Roxio Easy Creator. So you have that. Here's one if you just want to, if maybe you're not ready for the video editing and all that stuff. Maybe you just want to kind of work on music, and there are tons of tools out there, free programs that you could download, and they come up with some great things. If you want to pay $300-400 for the full-blown version, some go as high as $800-900. You can do that. One of the free ones that I'm using is called Studio One by Presonus. And Studio One is a great tool. It has a lot of built-in things of where you can add a lot. I love this tool. If you sit here and you look at Studio One, again, a lot of built-in free tools for building with some of the tools that you have. They of course they have some like what's it called? There's a phrase for the terms of a lot of the sound bites that you can put together and create things inside of this. It gives you great interface of working with a lot of the instruments that you may have never worked before. Now they've offered in the last couple of years. They decided to bring in an what is it called? They started bringing in studio or subscription services and everything like that. But what I like about this is you have effects, loops. That's what I wanted to find, was loops, instruments. If I want to say a Brazilian kit from drum kits, I don't know. I want to go with an accordion. I can drop in an accordion, and when I bring in the accordion, you can have all this stuff that you can build on here and start making and creating stuff with that. Now, I'm actually going to leave this one open for now, because the next one I want to talk to you about is one that I found, and this one, I'm telling you, if you like creating, this one is going to probably be one of your favorite ones. One of the things I've always liked to do is, I'm not great in reading music, but I'm loving and writing music, or thinking that I can actually write music. And this one, there's a program out there called Sibelius. It's like a $600 to $800 program, and I'm certain that it is a great program. I'm sure that there's so much you can do. But again, this is about being free. This is about being affordable. And you go through a lot of these programs, and one of them, I'm not going to lie to you, this one for creating and writing and putting music together, this one has been really cool for me, because I'm working on a really cool project here. Of something I'd love for you to see in the future. Hopefully it'll be ready by the summer. But Musescore, Musescore, excuse me, Musescore. This one allows you to write sheet music, and what's great about this tool is it allows you to not only write the music, but it can play the music. And okay, sorry about that. It's not you. Because I opened the one program, you'll have to listen to the audio I apologize. I forgot opening the Studio One program takes over your audio. And so for the last 2 minutes, you'll have to go listen to the podcast to hear everything I was talking about with respect to Studio One. The other one I thought was really interesting. Yes, so even Musescore does the same thing as well too, of taking back your audio when you're on this. But it's just a really cool program. Some of these programs I will not show you because they affect your audio in the middle of a broadcast. But here's one I will show you that I really enjoy, and this is probably one of the coolest programs ever that I enjoy, and it is Blender. Blender, a 3D rendering program, and even inside this tool, what's really nice, and this is the latest version of this, again, free. The makers of this tool, I really enjoy them, and the reason why I enjoy them is because they are committed to giving you a free version of a 3D editing program that you don't have to pay for, and they're making a lot of this stuff. Which is great, very affordable. Now, there are things you can buy, add-ons that you could add on, build with this, but there's a lot of free stuff that you can get for this tool on creation. And again, for those of you who want to get into the 3D work, you can do just 3D works and layouts and see things in 3D. Well, I think one of my previous, open recent, here was one of mine that I had done a long time ago, that I basically brought this thing in here and I started going out and rendering things. And you can come out and, again, but you have to have a decent system if you want it to render fast. Doesn't mean you can't render it fast, but you can render it, pretty quickly when you build your 3D stuff in here. And like that, here it is. You're starting to see some of the different stuff that I've been working on for one of my projects. And this is a villain for one of the projects that I've been working on, of something that I want to turn into an actual movie. And so I've built the character in one other program that I have it's a paid program, and I've imported that character into this one, and it takes about a few seconds or just less than a minute for it to bring in the other half of the screen. But this right now is rendering this thing in 4K. So I believe the resolution on this thing is 4K. That is bringing him out this information, this image. But again, here's a free program that's allowing me to basically build in for you and let you see exactly what some creativity can look like. And I'm not lying to you, it's pretty stinking cool. I'm going to move this over here so that I can move this out of the way. I'm going to get this out of the way so you can see. So as it's deciding and trying to figure out what it wants to do next, I'll bring this one back to you. And once it's done rendering the image, I'll bring that back to you so that you can see exactly what it looks like. Again, this is really powerful when you want to create. Now, mind you, I probably shouldn't have rendered a 4K image in the middle of the broadcast because my CPU is having some major issues. But I got a fast enough machine that I think it can render a 4K image and then have a conversation with you at the same time. I'm just doing everything wrong as a broadcaster today. Oh, this is too much fun. But it's about finding your inner creativity. I've got a good enough powerful graphics card in my machine that it actually can handle vMix. Because vMix, you don't understand. When I was doing this, and Ron Phillip from he's the other half who works with Brad Staggs of the Daily Mojo. He has been great in giving us hosts ideas of making your show better, making your program better. And one of the tools he told me was vMix. And I had a 2 gig video card. It was crashing all the time with this tool. I was like, what in the world is going on? Yeah, I'll show you the graphics in a second. Yeah, the final product. And so I upgraded my graphics cards from a 2 gig card to an 8 gig card, and I'm not lying to you, it's so much better. So yeah, let me show you what the final work looked like, and this is one of the villains I'm working on. Again, this is a free tool that you could build stuff like this inside of these tools. So this is a villain that's in one of my book projects. Looked a little bit on the crazy side, but that was the goal on you seeing exactly what this tool can do. It's about finding your inner creativity and not being held back if at all possible. Have fun with this and create. Yeah, if you didn't hear the fan blowing on my system, it went crazy. Another one I want you to show. Now, this one I found because of a training course. Now I'm going to move towards paying. I've got 8 minutes to go. Okay, cool. I've got some time to do this one here. So here's a one that I thought was really cool, and this one's called PureRef. Now, PureRef is a brilliant concept. Sometimes you're like, well, Watson, where do I begin? Where do I start? Sometimes you have to gather your ideas and collect and figure out what you want to do. And PureRef is one of these tools that allows you, think of, like, people talk about their vision boards and everything like that, and the ideas and concepts of what they want to do. We have programs that are out there like Visio and what is it, Miro, these boards, project teams and projects. They will work on projects, fighting creativity and everything like that. And one of the things that's really nice that I thought with this tool is it allows you to find your inner creative by creating a collage of different things that you could bring inside of this tool. Now, mind you, the screen is showing you Photoshop right now, but what's really cool about this is with this tool, it creates like this tag. Like right here, as you see in the image right here. I want to bring that. I want to zoom in on that one right there for you for a second, so you can understand what's going on here. What I like about this tool is you could say, let's say you like puppies. Everybody likes puppies. Only mean people don't like puppies. And you sit here and you can get pictures of puppies. You could build a collage. You could find these images online where you could download the idea and then basically move these things onto an art board, almost like a collage board, to give you ideas and concepts of what you're building or what you like. Again, you're not building a dog, but again, if there's images, if there's ideas and concepts of what you want to build inside of this tool, you can do it. And when you go to download the thing, they'll basically say, you have the different platforms of what you can download with the tool. Of course, they have Windows, they have Mac, and OS X. All the tools that I've shared with you so far, I believe, all run on Windows, Mac, and OS X. Okay? All of them run on Windows, Mac, and OS X. And so it'll allow you to create and have a lot of fun. But this PureRef tool, I love this because of the fact that you can download, and then what they'll do is they'll tell you the different versions, and they'll say, hey, listen, thank you for your contribution, or you can make a custom amount. Of course, it's in pounds. Don't be angry. But this tool is really great. So if you want to give 10 pounds, you want to give 5 pounds, you can even customize your amount of what you want to do. Maybe you just want to give 1 pound. Let's see. Will it let you download? Yes, it'll let you download. Let's see if it'll give you £0. Yes, you can still download. You can still download this thing for free. So you could change it to £0 and offer nothing and check out and download the tool. But if you want to, I'm telling you, when you see this tool and what you can do with it, you will really love this tool. And I love it. I can't show you everything that I'm working on because some of this stuff is critical information. And if I did share with you, I'd have to kill you. No, I'm just joking. That was just a joke. Oh, my goodness. I might get censored on that one here. This is a great tool that you can work with in terms of, and where's my PureRef link? I don't know where it is. Oh, I'll find it later. I know it's on here. I have way too many icons. But again, PureRef, great tool that allow you for creating and restoring your creativity. Last one I want to work on with you, and this one is a really cool one because of the fact that I have been in, it is part of my working thing. My work computer has my Adobe stuff on it, and my home computer has my Affinity software on this. And the reason why I share this with you is because Affinity is a great tool. My brother told me about this tool. Tim, who comes in on the timeline, has told me about the tool here as well. And Affinity, I love this one. This one's great, and I'm going to show you the graphic. When you go to affinity.serif.com, they have 3 programs. Designer, which is basically what repairs or replaces what you would have done with Adobe Illustrator. You can do 3D stuff here with this tool. You can update your 3D game. You could do so much in terms of creativity with this tool. It is very, very nice in terms of working with just getting things done here. And so you see these different things that you can make. That it is vector art 3D. This is vector art. So vector, what's really cool about the vector stuff is no matter what size you make on it, it turns around. What it turns around and do is no matter what size that you make it, it maintains its what's the word for it? Its size, its consistency on the image. So you have bitmap images. You take a picture with your computer or your phone or your phone or your camera. It's a static image. You can't shrink and sometimes the pictures get pixelated unless you're using a high resolution camera. When you shrink and make the different sizes of it, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt the image. Well, when you do vector, you can start off at something this small, and if you stretch it out as big like a wall, the vector image stays the same size. It's the same consistency. There's no change in the quality of the image. Well, the designer is one of those tools that allows you to make that stuff, and it's really nice in reference to what you can get done with this tool, because it's just a great tool, and I love working with it. Designer is one of them that they have on here. The other one that they have is second one is Photo. Photo is basically going to replace Photoshop. Yes, Photo. And what's really nice about Affinity Photo is that you can do so much with this tool, and I want to make sure that your ears don't get blasted with the audio on this one here too. Is again, there's so much that you can do in terms of editing, and professionals use this stuff here, and I'm telling you, the workflow is really nice. I love with this tool that you can do a lot of editing. You can import things from Photoshop. You can make changes. There's a lot of what you can do with this tool that you won't go wrong with working on there. And the final one that they have is the Publisher. Publisher, this is what basically represents or changes what you do with Adobe InDesign, where you build and you create things. And I love this because this is works for me in terms of what I'm working with my book projects as I get the next versions of the books and everything that has to be released with this tool. Now, here's the thing that I love about this when you go to buy these tools, $55. Let me zoom in on this so you can see this. $55. And when you buy it, whether it's Affinity, you buy $55 for Affinity Publisher, $55 for Affinity Photo, $55 for Affinity Design. And what's really nice about this is lifetime upgrades. Lifetime upgrades. There's no subscription to this. Are there add-ons that you could buy for it? Yes, you can. But I'm telling you, I've been working with these tools, and it has really been helping me find my inner creative. Also too with the Affinity. Now, granted, your license for Windows only works on your Windows machines. Your license, and now they also are able to run on Mac machines. And when you run it on the Mac machines, it's $55. So that's what, $165. So we're up to $310 to own it for Mac and Windows, and you can run it even on a tablet for $10 more, or $20 more. And that's still less than a $600 subscription for the other stuff. Listen, I'm your host, Watson Prenier from Battle for Freedom on Mojo Fiber Radio. I'm hoping that you could best the worst of times and restore your creativity. Brad Stacks and Daily Mojo's up next.